ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतलेश्वरतिरुमपदस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतलेश्वरति भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. So we are continuing the book nine keys from the Sistastaka, page 47. What dreams for our japa more than anything dragging us into inattention is that we believe our mind's advertisements. We are easily convinced that we must follow every mental impulse, every thought now, even while we are doing something as vital as chanting the holy name. And the mind makes every passing thought epic. But if we simply focus on the holy name, we will see within seconds that the epic thought that attempted to capture us has been punctured and that nothing is left of it because another thought or emotion or urge has taken its place. If we watch this process, we will see that the new thought carries the same urgency and importance as the last one. Can every temporary thought have the same importance? The mind will tell us yes, and we believe it easily. How many times have you convinced yourself that unless you do one very important thing or another, you won't be able to chant your rounds? Icha Samutvena Dvandva Mohina Bharata. The mind bewilders us by its attachment and aversions. The village prostitute, the unsteady intelligence. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, mixed with the mode of passion, the unsteady intelligence of every living entity is like a prostitute who changes dresses like to attract one's attention. If one fully engages in temporary, free to activities, not understanding how this is taking place, what does he actually gain? Srimad Bhagavatam 6.5.15. Sensual and mental attractions and aversions are ultimately empty of pleasure and as incapable of affording variety in experience as a prostitute who simply changes her dress. We should learn to soberly unveil the truth behind the mind's unending presentations. Srila Prabhupada comments, the intelligence of a living entity who does not turn his attention towards Krishna or the Krishna consciousness movement simply changes dress like a prostitute. What is the benefit of such foolish intelligence? One should be intelligently conscious in such a way that he need no longer change from one body to another. A Krishna conscious person's only profession is to attract the attention of Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and living a very simple life. One should always be fixed in Krishna conscious and take the cure of devotional service with firm determination. Through intelligence and with firm determination, listen to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Neglect the mind and its prostitute like attempts to attract us. Make progress in devotional life. What is the significance of having proved ourselves right and someone else wrong? What is the significance of having achieved a crowning success in this world? What is the significance of again dredging up those past pains and pleasures in 1,000 years, in even 100 years? No one alive will remember that if we ever existed. Even our names will have been forgotten. What contribution can we make during our brief lifespan that will actually stand the test of time? Try viewing success and failure, pain and pleasure, significance and insignificance from the perspective of Brahma's lifetime and then from eternity. What could possibly be more important than focusing on the holy name? For our significant souls, nothing is more important than to listen to Sri Krishna's names and learning to turn toward Him. In continuation to that, chapter 9, the sixth key, neglect the mind. There is no way around it. If you want to chant a good japa, you have to neglect the mind. If you want to chant a good japa, you have to neglect the mind. This is, of course, not the end of our practice. This is not the International Society for Mind Neglect. Mind neglect as an ultimate purpose is the focus of Buddhism. Those who practice Vipassana meditation, for example, try to experience their sense stimulation as separate from the mind's interpretation of those experiences, eradicating their interpretations. They believe they remove the essential experience of human suffering. Vipassana adherents and others on similar paths therefore simply observe the mind, slowing it down and ultimately trying to stop it from interacting with the sense perception. Observing the mind does quit it, and when it is quitted, the mind reverts to its natural state in the mode of goodness, uninfluenced by passion and the plan making intelligence. Buddhists are not wrong to think that by slowing the mind they can realize something beyond matter. The Bhagavad Gita 14.17 states, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, rajaso lobha evacha, pramada moho tamaso, bhavato jnanam evacha. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develops foolishness, madness, and illusion. Usually, we accept the mind as a self, as our authority, and re- reactively try to appease it. When the intelligence joins this conspiracy and begins to react, reformulate, and plan, we touch the creator of the intelligence, the mode of passion. We may think that we have to just make this one plan before we can return to attentive chanting. But as soon as we allow the mode of passion to increase, the mind and intelligence move quickly. To return the mind to the simple task of listening to the mantra to the mode of goodness becomes almost impossible. Before we have again accepted our mental fluctuations as vital, as more essential to our well-being than listening to Krishna's names. Better to neglect the mind. Don't take it seriously. We will not be able to chant properly until we apply this key, at least while we are chanting japa. Picture the mind. Okay, I will stop here. At least while we are chanting japa. Okay, so in the summary, yesterday Mataji covered up to chapter 8 initially. So in continuation to that, so what ruins our japa is our mind. Basically, our mind is disturbing. That's the reason we are not able to do the good japa. But next, how to stop mind, how to focus on mantra here. Uh, uh, Prabhu described in depthly. I mean, like given some importance how why the things are happening in the back. So basically, mind is dragging into inattention due to its advertisements. So immediately we are jumping into that and we are focusing over there. We are easily following the mind's task, even though we are forgetting that we are doing the important task. We are chanting the holy name, which is very very important to our life, our soul. But still, we will slave and will become a slave to the mind. Uh, but in that scenario, the important key is here that when we neglect that, when we neglect the mind's attention or advertisements, just when we focus on one mantra, slowly, we are able to control the mind. Uh, and if you see, I mean, like if you see back and like analyze or question ourselves, we can see even from the Bhagavad Gita, it is stating that Icha Dvesha Samutvena Dvanda Mohena Bharata. The mind is bewildering because of its attachments and aversions. In a whole day, we are working in different environment. We are developing different thoughts, processes, and discussions with mundane people. And I mean, like in the work location. Because of that, we are getting a lot of attachments and aversions. So in that way, mind is keep on revolving, and disturbing our uh, whole life in a single context. So in this scenario, in one of the paragraph, Pogo explained clearly that this is happening because like a village prostitute always changes just due to ignorance to attract one's attention. Similarly, mind is attracting us. Technically, there is no use at all. But as a human being with our intelligence, if we are not converting our attention towards Krishna or Krishna consciousness, uh, our life will be wasted, same like a prostitute. So in that scenario, we need to neglect the mind, and our focus is to chant one mantra at a time. And in yesterday's class also, Mataji emphasizes that morning chanting is very, very important. And different studies, even in the material life, they are also proven. With the children who have wrote the exam in the morning time, they got different studies, different exam marks, and who wrote the exam in the evening, like after 3, after 4, they got different type of results. So that is because in the morning we will have less thoughts, the mind revolves very less, and we can focus on the chanting so that our day goes very well. So in that way, we can advance in Krishna consciousness, and also we can advance in chanting as well. Advancing chanting is nothing but the advancing Krishna consciousness. In that way, it helps us a lot to improve our chanting every day.